Hi, I'm Wayward, and this is Grey Goo. Uh, because I now have over 500 subscribers, Xset, the pillar of the Grey Goo community, has agreed to come on with me and do a couple of replay casts, and this is the third of them. I don't know if I'm doing this as one large video or part of a series, so we're just going to go as if they were individual videos. Today we have actually a Goo versus Goo. In the top right is Yggdrasil as purple, and at the bottom left is the Harbinger of the End Times, or Refbot, as blue. This is, of course, on World Tree, the awesome 1 versus 1 map by AwesomeSocks42, and it's on Xset's very own QuickScript mod, which in this case, once both players have gotten their first block of resources on their mother, splits them out for a free second one. Gets things rolling a lot more quickly.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
you were telling me the other day that Goo versus Goo has become the one of the better matchups in Grey Goo, which is fascinating to me because when I was playing on ladder back in the day, it was my least favorite matchup by a pretty wide margin. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out, and very much
Yeah,
hope that you are proven right.
it used to just be straight up terrible because for one it was just with the Mon Madagu you don't really have a choice but to build units, and then there were all those maps like Edge of Winter where you had this one spot in the middle which was clearly the best one, so you would either take a huge disadvantage and don't go there, or you would go there and the enemies there as well, and the game would end in 1 minute.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. Yeah, that happened on many maps on the ladder where it
yeah,
was there was
exactly.
one spot that everyone wanted to be, and you either went there and your mothers fought, and whichever one had more HP ended up winning, and that was the match, or you would just
Yeah,
let cede that to the enemy, and then they would just have twice as much army as you.
and now we see the first difference already. Yggdrasil tries to go for the third Malgu, which means he has to defend, and Refbot decides to go and be the aggressor here. So let's see if Yggdrasil can hold on here.
Yggdrasil already
He,
pulling back with that one mother. Oh no, just dancing with it. No, that's not going to work. You've got Radiance. Well played
yeah,
by Refbot getting the Radiant in there.
you always want to have one pack of Radiance to attack, so you can see up those hills.
Oh yeah, it's a phenomenal unit in general, and I'm surprised you don't see Goo build it more. I guess on there's a lot of big flat maps with humans and stuff. You don't necessarily need it. Oh no, those two striders got caught by that mother. Well played. Pull it. He actually switched out the mothers to save the one. So good job. I think
Yeah,
Ref.
it seems like Refbot is going for 4 Malagus now. He saves up the rest of the resources, so he tries to buy some time with his attack early on and then switches it up right away. And he dealt some really nice damage to the one Madagu, so
Yeah,
he
it's going to
seems
be a
to be in a
long
good
time before
spot.
that's useful.
And still no Radiant here, so Yggdrasil cannot really push into any of the brushes.
Yeah, it looks to me at this point like Yggdrasil's trying to hold. He's got his three mothers. He's trying to protect them with this Strider army. So I think Refbot has kind of gotten what he wants. He's
Yeah,
given himself
Yggdrasil
some breathing room.
could never, yeah, Yggdrasil could never confirm if Refbot continues to attack or if he switches to Madagus, and so he just assumed that Refbot would continue. Yeah, and only now he has Radiant, so he can now actually start attacking.
Seems like Refbot is in a pretty good spot.
He needs to be careful though, his army supply is quite a bit lower here. We have 30 supply for Yggdrasil, but he actually needs to pull the trigger soon because his economy is a bit weaker, having one Madagu less. I really like how they are mixing in drovers as well, as they are really effective in those large army fights.
Yeah, I actually think that the Drover is a fascinating unit design. I don't think that Petroglyph gets quite enough kudos for designing units like that for this game. I feel like that actually kind of that tier 1 close ranged AoE. I think they did that pretty well. It fits in there, the goo army, in a nice spot.
Yeah, there's a ton of little micro moves you can do with them as well. Seems like Yggdrasil has waited a little bit too long, as the supplies are quite even here. And there's still the Mother Goo
Yeah,
advantage.
and the mother goo is able to put some pressure on Yggdrasil's army. Actually, the supplies are now evened up, which is probably the worst case scenario right now for Yggdrasil, unless he gets a massive army win at this point.
Yeah, the
That's
one
going to be
good
quite
thing
bad for him.
for on Gooby Goo is that there's always this chance to have good fights where your draw position is really good and you can pull ahead. But it seems like a quite even fight here, which is bad for Yggdrasil.
Not quite enough army there for Refbot right now. Oh, Refbot, do something with that mother. No. I feel like this is a bad
Yeah.
attack by Refbot, though I'm not entirely sure why.
I mean, it depends on the splits from Yggdrasil here. Oh, this is a big blunder here by Yggdrasil. He's losing a lot of units there. Because the splits were a little bit late.
I actually like these. No. I thought he was going to scout with them, but he stopped moving them for too long. That drover scout, that using those last 3 drovers to scout was a clever idea, but it just kind of whiffed it a little bit. There is Yggdrasil with a 4th mother. That's going to even up the economies. Now was one of the more dangerous parts of the match, I think. If you get somebody with one really good engagement, or one player gets the ability to slip out an extra mother, that's pretty much probably going to seal the deal. Right now, Refbot has a significantly larger army at the moment.
Yeah, and the problem for Yggdrasil is even if he takes a nice fight, he has so many drawers, he will not be really able to
Push
do a
in,
lot of
yeah, make
damage.
something
Yeah,
happen.
to Mother Goose. Oh, Yggdrasil is thinking about going in there, but it's really dangerous for him as his army is
Yeah, I
small
think
army.
what Refbot needs to do, kind of, is his army is very balled up, and might do him some good to do some of that StarCraft style concaving of his army to pre-concave them a little bit.
Yeah, he's completely committing on drawers right now, which, I mean, it is kind of okay, but if Refbot does a huge pre-split, he might be
There
able
it
to take a
goes.
great engagement. Yeah. Oh, and Refbot has the concave here, so his units will fight more efficiently. Yeah.
Yeah, and the drovers did not.
Oh,
Oh, that was
Yggdrasil gets
bad.
completely surrounded.
Oh, that was
Yeah, you
bad.
want,
That was
you need
brutal.
your concave here.
Refbot pulled off that concave at like exactly the right second. I thought he was going to be a little behind. Oh, but there's no radiance, so those
Yeah, he
mothers can
cannot see the
can
mother
sneak
goose.
away.
But it's hard to see Yggdrasil coming back from this position as he has now been breached once and
Yeah,
his army is so much smaller now.
yeah, it's going to be
And
very, very difficult.
yeah, there's the radiance now as well. Tries to kite a bit, I guess with the Mother Goose he might be able to defend here because the Drovers need to retreat, so that's good for him. Oh, it's quite the defender's advantage in this matchup specifically for Goose.
Now, remind me, they actually rebalanced in one of the later patches. They actually rebalanced the damage of Mother Goose, small proteans, and large proteans, right?
Yes, I know that they cut down the speed significantly for small proteins as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure
I
on the
think
effect anymore.
I think what it is the the Mother Goo has the best slowdown effect, but the large protean does the most damage, I think.
And he is now
That Mother
fighting with
is
me.
going down. There it goes. He had a
Yeah,
fifth.
and now,
No.
oh no,
Yeah,
it
that's
was
it.
just the third, the fourth one, and yeah.
Yeah, a flabbergasted Yggdrasil. GG's out. That was a fun. That was a fun.
Yeah.
Goo
Refbot
one Goo
has this
fight.
ability to just beat basically everyone. So you're never safe.
He's a terrifying player.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming on and doing those co-casts. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Um,
it was
I
really nice.
I mean it though. Next time, you stayed up late for me. Next time, I can wake up at like 5 in the morning.